Hello, and welcome back to the channel. My name's Teeter, and today we're keeping on with Core Keeper. Last time on the channel, we did a little bit more exploring. We discovered both the clay and the stone biomes, and I vowed to beat the boss, and then I forgot to do that. So we're going to do that right away this time. I did a little bit of testing between my two videos, and I think that we can handle the boss with copper gear. You can tell I was testing. I have a tombstone. But I think we can handle the boss with copper gear so long as we use the wooden bow, the ranged bow. And we just want to move quickly. We'll use the hardy pepper wrap made with a heartberry and bomb pepper to stay quick. And we'll just shoot it. And we'll just try to run between the goop on the ground, you know, between the raindrops and all that. And we'll see if we can't dispose of the boss. Also trying to dispose of these little shroomy guys in my garden. My mushroom garden. But yeah, without further ado, we will reinforce our wooden bow, which we made at the anvil here. We also have the shield, which I don't intend to use, but you know what? Maybe we'll need it. Who knows? I'm just going to go on over to where the fight will be. We'll pop a couple of these. I also have a spicy tulip salad that I made with glow tulips and bomb peppers. But the movement buff will only stack once. It'll only be the 21% movement speed. And we'll also get glow and boosted max health. Go ahead and eat each of these. And then we will go and upset the boss. So as long as we don't let it catch up with me, we should be able to just run in circles like this. Of course, I want to make sure I prioritize moving away as it decides to jump over, just constantly dealing damage. Now, once the boss's health gets low enough, it will enter an enraged state where it will move faster and chase me down a little bit more. So I'll probably trim down to only one shot before I move. Actually, I'm doing that already. So there's the enraged state. I'm actually clicking on my inventory bar, which is not what I mean to do. Get between the little goop piles on the ground. Uh-oh, getting slow. Getting slow. One more shot. Gotcha. So we didn't exactly do a hit list, but if I cleared the ground a little bit before, we could have. Seems like. And that was all thanks to the, well, wooden bow, and also just the movement speed increase from our food, which actually just ran out. Because, oh, actually it ran out a bit ago. Only lasted for 1 minute, and this is almost at the end of 2. This is an NPC that was trapped inside. He sells curious eggs that hatch into pets, scrap parts, some fiber, and some copper ore to start. So nothing too crazy. This is the drop that we get from the boss. We actually get some good gear. We get a ring that boosts our dodge chance. We get a necklace that boosts our health. We get some slime, which we already have. We get some tin. We get the Glurch eye that goes into one of the statues at the start of the game. And the slime oil, which summons this NPC. So we'll go ahead and destroy this. All of it will go into my inventory. And actually, just like the pets, if you're holding the slime oil, the NPC merchant will actually follow you around. Albeit very slowly. But he's coming right for us, I assure you. Like he changed his mind, but normally that's how you can get them to walk around where you want. Now, just like in Terraria, if you want these guys to move back to your base with you, you have to specifically make a little home for them, or a little house for them. So we will go back to where we came from, and we will start on that, because I think I have enough fiber and everything to make a bed. Because you need a bed, a torch, and a door in a big enough room. And, you know what, maybe we'll put him in the middle there. Keep things nice and symmetrical. Even though this isn't a very big room, it will be big enough. So we'll leave that back wall intact. I want to make it dirt wall. We'll put the door there. Some torches on. We'll have to put a bed in here as well as his oil, which we'll just put along the one wall. I don't know if you could put all the NPCs in one room. There are, I think, 3 or 4 that you get by the end of the game. And I don't know if you could put them all in the same room or not. It would be kind of funny if you could. So we need a door, which requires 2, excuse me, tin? Oh no, copper. I looked at the wrong one. 2 copper for a door, biome. And we need a bed, which you can make at the next tier. 5 fiber. 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we've got torches in there. We've got his oil in there. Now we just need to put a bed, which we can put, honestly, along the wall so you can't see it. And the door. I don't know if he'll spawn in. Oh, he spawned in right away. Look at that. Almost as if by magic. Hope you enjoy your room, good sir. So, let's go play with some of the other stuff that we just got. Namely, the fancy, shiny thing that goes into this stone. Okay, it unlocks a scanner for the next boss, a scanner for the third boss, and a new sword. 78 to 94 melee damage, and that's actually double what we already do. 8 copper, 8 tin, and 15 slime. Now, I think this is only a little bit stronger than the tin sword, and it might be on par with the iron sword. So if we're patient enough, we can just get the higher level ones and not even have to worry about making that. The scanner, however, is very useful. I don't have 5 ancient gemstones yet, but essentially what that will do is it will highlight where the location of the boss is on your map. So in this big abyss here, you can actually navigate right to it and fight it if you want. I guess I'm just gonna eat this caveling bread since we can't cook it. I have an extra cave pouch. I guess I'll save that for if I play with a friend. And now we have our fancy chest, which I forgot you can turn the chests now. That's really interesting. Don't really know where I want to put it, so we'll just leave it here for now. And we'll put some of the more fancy stuff in here that we're not using. Copper. Tin. And then we'll put on our new ring for an extra dodge chance. And our new necklace. 2 of them together gives me a boosted range damage, which is funny because we were just using range to kill the boss in the first place. There we go. 1 down, 2 to go. The second one we already saw. They travel along this ring that goes around the whole outside of the map here. And then the third is somewhere in the abyss. I know which biome, but I don't want to spoil it yet. So we won't until we learn more. I guess I'll harvest some of these mushrooms so we could feed them to our Moulin and Co. Not a ton of mushrooms, but not very long ago you couldn't even farm mushrooms like this, so I'll call that a W. Also farm a little bit while we're here. Cook a little bit more. I could use some more hardy pepper wraps. Now, you can use the hoe to dig up your plants too. Especially because the hoes are, you know, cover an area of 2x2. They're a little bit better to use to do that. But it didn't really occur to me just now, so I apologize for that. Let's get all of our seeds handy. Root seeds I don't really care for. They are how you spawn wood. And eventually you can kind of auto-spawn wood. Actually, we might be able to do that right away. Let's see. 23 tin bars. Okay, hold on. Let's make a tin workbench right away. I'm just going to gather all of my resources here. And 10 wood. Why don't I have wood? Because I must have been spending it and not getting more. That's okay. Fun wood everywhere. Actually, if I do plant this root seed, we will grow wood. So let's see how much room we have after I put all the seeds I have down. 4 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. Oh, nope, these are care rocks. They go on stone. We'll talk about that in a minute. Oh, I guess I don't have... Do I have root seeds? Oh, yeah, I have root seeds in here. Okay. Well, the root seeds are kind of annoying. We'll move those to be alone. We need the... Oh. So you can actually till stone. And you can till... Oops. Sand. And you can till all kinds of stuff. I'm actually just going to till everything near my base here because I might eventually want to expand my farm. Maybe not all the way over here, but, you know, whatever. Let's do this whole area on the left side here. So, the Karok seeds that you get from the stone biome, you can actually plant in stone. Which is kind of weird. I'm going to move this torch now because, well, doesn't really do us any good to have it in the middle here. We'll put our heartberry back down from wherever I dug it out of. I think it was right there. The root seeds, I'm just going to put them kind of in their own realms over here. They sprawl out like crazy. And then I did not grab my watering can. So yeah, there's a couple different plants that you have to plant on specific types of soil. There's one in the mold dungeons later in the game. There's ones on the beaches in the late game. This stuff goes in stone. And I can't remember if there's any more. It's been a little while since I've really played this game. If you've ever seen my TikToks and my YouTube shorts on this game, they were recorded almost a year ago. So, information isn't exactly fresh. Alright, we'll put some of this food in the troughs for our animals. I'm just going to leave one of each here so I can quick move food once it's grown. But we'll let these guys nibble on some stuff. I actually want to keep some... We'll keep these for me, the bomb peppers, but we'll put 8 of those, 8 of these, and 8 of these, I guess. I'll go through them real fast given how many of them there are. That's okay. Do this so I can go cook. I ended up moving my cooking pot down here just because I wanted to have 3 furnaces for my 3 different ore types. Speaking of, we'll put the ores in here, I suppose. Safekeeping. Carry everything else on us. Maybe not the scrap parts. Top off my food stash. This is actually going to take a while to fill. Okay, so we killed our first boss. Lickety split, just like that. What is this red square? I don't actually recognize red. Oh, it's this. Oh, interesting. It's a little explosive thing. That's cool. Anyway, what do we do now? Here's all our plants growing already. You'll see that these roots are already growing too. Actually, let's go get some wood so I can make that tin bench. Don't have to go all that far for it. Spawn's kind of everywhere. Wood does. I do want to go into like a more open area to find some. Like this. Yeah, if you find wherever a wood thing starts from, you tend to find those seeds. And when you plant, they'll start sprawling out and growing some of those. And you can always tell the node that has the seed on it once you plant it because it's got leaves on it. The rest of them won't have leaves. Food's ready. Oh yeah, I guess we could look at my skill tree too, because we've been getting skill points like crazy. One thing at a time. Tin workbench. Somehow I moved my sword away. The tin workbench is going to replace our copper workbench. I don't think you can scrap the workbenches, which is kind of a shame because it takes a lot of material to make them. But so now we can scroll between the 3 workbenches, but on the tin workbench, we have tin tools that are way better than the copper tools. We have a bug net that lets you catch the floating and scuttling little critters. We can finally make spike traps, which will actually be good for our mushroom garden, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Some straw-based things that are meant to match the meadow, I guess. A music workbench that lets you design instruments. The automation table, which is crazy to see this early in the game. A bait workbench that lets you make fishing a little bit easier and more efficient. A tin anvil that lets you make tin swords and armor. And the alchemist table, which I think really just lets you make potions for health and speed and stuff. Armor. But what was I expecting to see? Oh man, I'm drawing a blank. But there was something that I wanted to build the tin table for, and I don't think that I'm seeing it. But the spike traps are useful. They deal 61 damage a hit. And like it says, it only reacts to enemies. So if I were to put spike traps all up in here, for example, when mushrooms would spawn, like normal mushrooms, not the enemies, the spikes would shoot out and kill them. Oh yeah, it was the drill I was looking for. I think I have to make the automation table for the drill. I'm gonna use a good chunk of my tin bars, but we'll try the automation table. We'll just put that over here, I guess. Yeah, here we go. Crude drill. 8 tin bars. Boy, oh boy. And of course, something to power it. I think. Yeah. When powered with electricity. So to get electricity, we'd have to build the other table. The electronics table, which we can actually afford. So we'll go ahead and build that too. So, in Core Keeper, you can automate some stuff. It does take some hefty resources. But you generate electricity with an engine. And I think something else. Oh yeah, this electricity stick emits a very low electricity that is too low to power up objects, but useful to change behavior of logic circuits. Which are what these are. They let you delay and route different power sources to different things. And you can use a switch or a pressure plate that lets you step on things and cause things to open and light up in various things. But all we really care about for this is eventually a table saw, but not yet. But most early on, you care about just the electricity generator and wires. Although you can put something directly next to a generator and it will power it up. But essentially, we want to make a crude drill, or a couple crude drills, for a couple reasons. Firstly, if you set up these wooden root systems near some water where they can only grow in one direction, you can have them grow into a drill, and the drill will auto-farm wood for you. Secondarily, if you find these big nodes of ores, which we've seen, like this one down here is a giant copper node, those big old boulders sticking out of the ground, you can use those drills to break those down too. Now, the tin drills work really slowly, but I mean, if you set them up in the early game and just kind of ignore them, you'll eventually come back to a whole bunch of resources just waiting for you, which is pretty nice. So I think I'm going to make the electricity generator before I forget. We'll make a couple. I can afford 2 of them, so we'll make 2. Oh, this isn't what I meant to make. Made a conveyor belt because I went to the same table twice. Okay. That's okay. Conveyor belts are useful eventually, just not yet. So we have used all of my resources, but that's okay. We'll just go get more. So I guess that's what we'll do. We'll head on over to the clay biome. We'll find some more iron, and we'll find some copper, and we'll just try to find more stuff. I guess we could explore this way too. We haven't gone that way at all yet. But for now, we will take one of these and one of these to speed up and start glowing. And then we'll use our pickaxe to go and find more goodies. Now, one thing you may have noticed in the last video when I started going into the stone biome was the pickaxe is probably the very first thing you should upgrade when it comes to getting a new table. Before you get a better weapon or before you get better armor, you're better off just getting the better pickaxe so that you can go into the new biome where you got the material to begin with and have an easier time cutting through the walls and getting more of it. So if I was smart, I would have spent all my iron, or rather all my tin, on a tin pickaxe. Or if I got enough iron, I would use all my iron on an iron pickaxe. But of course, I don't think I got a lot of iron at all. I only got 3 pieces or so. But for now, we're gonna want to go back down to the clay biome and get some tin. Now, another thing, I mentioned the skill tree before, so I'll actually review that right now because we've already got a whole bunch of points. So every time you get 5 skill points from doing various things, for mining it's hitting walls that it can break, for running it's just moving across tiles, for combat it's hitting enemies, vitality it's killing enemies, crafting it's for every individual piece that you craft, so individual wood bridges or weapons or whatever. Range combat it's every time you hit something with a shot, like from an arrow. Gardening is every time you pick a plant. Fishing is every time you pull something out of the water. Not necessarily every time you fish. And cooking is every time you pick something out of a cooking pot. Given all of these, every time you get 5 points, you can attribute a skill point. Once you have 5 points in one category, it will open to either of the next categories for you to put points in. And actually, now that I said that, I don't know if you can... Yeah, you have to put all 5 points in the first category, and then you can branch out and choose different things. So just to look at what we got, extra mining damage. So our mining stat is now going up by 10%. Next, we can say 5% chance to gain an additional ore from walls containing ores. This is very useful, so that every time you mine the walls that have ores in them, you can gain ores more quickly. Mining speed. Higher explosive damage. Chance that your mining damage will be included in your melee damage, so it's just a percentage boost to your attack. Higher movement speed boost for a short duration after mining a wall. Chance to drop valuable items from any mined walls. This is a very specific perk. This allows you to find the little, I guess they're called valuables. The little, like, masks and skulls and things that you find around that you can sell for money or that you can collect just for fun. You can turn this on and have a chance to just find those every time you break a wall, which eventually you can cut through walls like butter. So you find that stuff a lot. We can only spend the 5 here. For running, 25% less food drained when running. So if you use foods that let you run more quickly, they will essentially, you won't tire yourself out as quickly sprinting around. 5% chance dodge after standing still for a short duration. So if you stand in one place and use your melee attack, you can have a chance to dodge. Or you can have a faster movement speed after running consistently for a short period. So if you're running across the whole map, this could be good to help you travel a little bit faster. Same idea, 3% damage after consistently running for a short period. Snare and stun durations are increased, or are reduced, so whenever you get snared by a plant or stunned by an enemy, this can reduce how long that happens for. Faster movement speed for a short duration after dodging, so that kind of goes hand in hand with the previous power. Any nearby enemy's movement speed is slowed down by -5. I actually find that this is really useful because there's a visible debuff on the enemies even in the dark when you're near them. So if you're near an enemy that's getting slowed down, like toward the bottom of the screen in the dark, you can actually tell that the enemy's there because there'll be little orange like lines dripping off of it. Or 6% of armor of current movement speed increase, so the faster you move, the more damage you are resistant to. But we don't have to worry about all that right now. We just have to pick between these, and I like the gotta go fast one, so I'm gonna go ahead and put my points into that. You eventually have enough points to put into 5 of these categories. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. We only have 1 point for this. We only have 1 point for this, and this, and this. So every time you put points into these, they give you a portion of the skill. So for example, this one's 1 out of 5. We have a 5% boost of food, or we give 5% more food from cooked food. So this will feed us more healthily. And if we add to this 5 times, it'll boost it to 25%, which is pretty good. So as you do things in the game, like I said, all the different things, you'll earn those points and you can boost your character ever so slightly so that doing all of those things is easier or more beneficial. Only got a couple more minutes here, but we'll go ahead and zip on down to the clay biome and see what we can get done real quick. Actually, I just realized I'm still carrying my engines and stuff, but that's okay. Here we are. This is the clay biome already, as evidenced by, oh boy, all these little guys following me. Little lesson in kiting. As long as you approach an enemy and they start to attack you, you can hit them once or twice and move away from them, provided you know how often they attack. These little guys attack pretty often, so I advise you hit them once and then run away. You'll just trade attacks. Theirs will just happen on a delay and they'll miss you. The reason there were so many of those is because I think that there's something spawning them nearby. Here's what we were going to eventually be drilling with the drills once we can make them. There is our second boss we're going to have to fight. And actually there's a bunch of tin right here. By a bunch, I guess I mean like 3 pieces. And this is copper right away too. Okay, never mind. So much for a bunch. Take some movement speed boosts and a bit of glow. Boy, I was really hoping that would drop some tin for me, but the only some tin it dropped was some clay. Not what I was after. There, we got some tin. Yeah, so we're just gonna try and go up this giant circle here. Oh, there's some gold. You actually need to use gold when you get to the iron tier of weaponry and armor. I guess the gold helps support it or something, I don't know. I'm actually kind of surprised at how much of this is copper. Normally you find a bunch of tin in the clay biome. But maybe it's just that there wasn't enough copper in the early game or something, so they ended up boosting the amount that spawns in the next biomes. Still kind of laborious, though, to come all the way out here and use your, you know, higher level pickaxes just to get the first biomes. Ow. The first biome's resource. They ever gonna add more to Core Keeper? Just got a message from a friend on Steam asking that. Yeah, they actually are. There's supposed to be a crystal biome update later this year, and I don't really know where they're gonna put it because, well, they already kind of used all the spaces they could possibly put biomes in. But I'm excited to see what comes of it, because this game is cute and cozy and fun, and I'm very excited to see what else could come of it. Eat another food just to skirt along. Oh boy, new enemy type. Alright, we're gonna fight them and then we're gonna call it a video. So, the first guy was the one that was throwing things at us before. This guy's new. These are the cavelings of the clay biome. So he only has a spear. And he dis-speared because we killed him. But anyway, I'm just going to run around a little bit and collect some resources for the next video, because just running around hitting walls isn't all that interesting to watch. If you made it this far, I thank you for watching. If you enjoy content like this, please feel free to come check out the rest of my videos, as well as my Twitch channel, where we play games like Core Keeper and many others all the time. Thank you so very much for supporting the channel, and until next time, I hope you take care. Bye now.